Good morning. Welcome back to the Engine Builder Show. For our topic today, Gabe will be sharing with us how to grow $1 million business by investing just 30 minutes a day. If you like the sound of that, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Good morning, everybody.
There was always a ton to learn. Good morning, everyone. Hope you had an awesome weekend if you're catching this live, and I appreciate you taking time to tune in. And like Jethro mentioned, I want to share with you how you can build $1 million business by investing just 30 minutes a day. And I'm just going to share my experience, what I've done. Obviously, just as a clear, upfront, transparent disclaimer, your business could be different. There's plenty of other challenges and factors involved, but I want to share some things that if you're willing to be open to this, I believe it's going to make a massive impact on your business. And I can share personally that it's led me to having a multi-million-dollar business at this point. And so just diving into it, one of the things that I've realized about sales, about marketing, about growing a business is that it's so easy in today's world, and especially in a business where you have online aspects, where there's virtual aspects, but honestly, just in every business, it's so easy to get sucked into busy work or to things that don't really move on that show. So make sure you tune in for that one. The thing that I have learned having had a multi-million-dollar home services business, building this agency into being multi-million dollars, and also honestly having hundreds of conversations with really successful entrepreneurs that have gone from zero or negative, honestly, into having really successful businesses, is that it doesn't take as much time as we think to be successful and effective in marketing. And so if you, I've talked about this on the show before, but if you were to look back and do an honest assessment of your time, or from today forward, just started writing down every 15 minutes, just even if just during your workday, you could do it for your whole day, which is even better. But even if you just write down every 15 minutes what you actually did in those past 15 minutes, if you do that for 2 weeks, I would venture to say that if you're in the place where you don't have the sales and the revenue that you want, that you are probably doing less than 30 minutes per day of active prospecting or marketing or actually getting out there and finding new folks to work with, whether it's, again, from a marketing perspective or a sales perspective. Because often when I've coached people, if we assess the time study they did, or if we look at their calendar, because some people are very calendared like I am, and every single thing I do all day is noted or marked in my calendar, either pre-planned or I put a placeholder in there so I can look back and remember. When I see people that are struggling with not enough revenue, they haven't even committed that 30 minutes a day, which ends up being 2.5 hours a week, right? It's not a lot amount of time, but if you spend 2.5 hours a week on marketing and sales related activities, and primarily marketing, which I'll define a little bit more here in a minute, then you will have the ability and the opportunity to gather more revenue, and grow the business. So it's those daily sales and marketing habits that we invest in that make the biggest difference. So I'll give you an example. On a periodic basis, and it's come into one of those seasons again, I will take my past customer list and just reach out to them. Obviously noting people that it just clearly wasn't a good fit, or it wouldn't be a good idea for us to try to work with them again. There's always a couple of those folks, but the majority of them, 99% or more, are folks that we did some great work with. They got good results, and they just sort of season of business where they didn't need our services anymore, or something changed, or they paused something. I do this periodically, and I'm actually in the season now where I'm reaching out to some recent customers, about 500 customers over the past 6 to 8 years, and just going through and sending a simple message. Hey, I've been thinking about you. I was looking at the past project we did together. We did some copywriting. We developed your website. We did pay-per-click, or we did SEO, or whatever this project is. We developed a software for you. We're just thinking about you. Want to check in. By the way, here's some of the things we've completed recently that may be of interest to you. Here's our services page. If you'd love to talk, if there's any way that we can serve and help you, just click here and schedule in my calendar. And I just got back into this cycle because, again, I don't do it every month because their past customers. But I've made it a goal to do it at least once a year, sometimes twice a year. And I am only like 20 names into that and already generated a $3,500 upfront retainer that will likely lead to, a $30,000 to $50,000 project for the year. And so how long did it take me to send 20 emails? Not very long. It's just one of the things that I try to check off every day. And I actually, my floor, my minimum goal, because I always try to set a minimum goal that I can do on the busiest day, the worst day, a day I'm sick or not feeling up to it. My floor is 5 emails a day. And so when I send those out, I get replies, I get engagement. People know, I'm top of mind again. And that's a simple example of, I have a form email. I have a template email that I paste in there. I customize a couple things. So it takes me 2 or 3 minutes to send an email, usually 2 or less, to be honest. And so in 10 minutes, I reach 5 new people and it's generating revenue. The other thing that I do as part of that outreach is if I don't hear back via email, I'll send them a text so they remember who it's me, and they'll associate the name again because I haven't called them in a while. And then I'll follow up with a phone call. And both of those things, sending a text takes 30 seconds because, again, copy and paste, put their name in there. I really do take time to say, like, oh, I'm reaching out to Jethro, so I'm going to put his name in there, whoever the actual customer would be. So I take my time so I don't send a high name, which we've probably all gotten those poorly executed outreaches. But I take a minute and put it in there and send a text. And then I hear back sometimes I don't. That's okay. And then when I call, that probably, generally people may not pick up. I still leave a nice voicemail. This is Gabe with Business Marketing Engine. Just want to touch base. It's been, been a couple of years since we worked together. And I sent you an email and a text, just checking in. If there's anything you need, let us know. If not, hope things are going really well. Just reach out when you're ready. It's just a soft touch marketing style sales outreach. And so when I go through those cycles, it takes me way less than 30 minutes a day to do those pieces. It takes me about 15 minutes to 20 minutes a day to do that. But I'm getting in front of new people or people that I haven't been in front of for quite a while. And then the other thing that I'll do is spend a few minutes every day, and we do some outreach on LinkedIn. I'll call people and reach out and follow up and say, hey, we're connected on LinkedIn. We've never talked or had an introduction. And so I just want to reach out and see what you offer, see if there's people in my network that could use your services, share with you what we're up to. And so I do that outreach on a daily basis. And I used to do that all myself. Now I'm in the position where I do have my assistant help me with a ton of that. But still, it's just a marginal small amount of time every day. It's only 20 people in a niche when I'm reaching out. And so developing that consistency over time is what generates the revenue. As I look at this business, that's how I used to look at all the job postings on Craigslist, and I would email and call anybody that had a phone number. I've done it on other job boards. I've reached out through LinkedIn. I've bought a list of names for everybody in an industry and emailed them and called them. It doesn't take this brain damage level of trying to call for 8 hours a day. If you are the owner, founder, the entrepreneur trying to grow your business, it doesn't take this massive, painful level of input, but the consistency of input over time is what yields the big result for you of getting more revenue. And so I always encourage people to really look at it and say, how are you consistently reaching out? How are you doing that, daily outreach? Because when you're doing it consistently, I can guarantee you that you will start to see movement and action and results anywhere between a couple of weeks to 2 or 3 months. But on average, across a lot of different industries, I've seen that 30 days is usually the sweet spot of, if you're consistent in reaching out for 30 days, then you're going to get sales opportunities, you're going to get discovery calls, you're going to be able to demo your product, you're going to be able to take the next step. But if you stop that consistency and you do it, you only reach out for 10 minutes a week, which sometimes I've spoken with folks and they're not even doing that. So of course they're not getting revenue, but if you're only doing it periodically, you just don't get the combined consistency effect of building that snowball of outreach, building that snowball of conversations that you want to have. And so today, I want to encourage you to do the things that are hard today, and you can reap the rewards in 30, 60, 90 days out. I was just talking to a friend of mine who his sales cycle is between 12 and 36 months, which is a longer sales cycle. So he reaches out every month to his prospects and he yields great results. He has some really successful businesses, great revenue, because he's just very doggedly persistent. So again, if you are just willing to commit to investing in developing a habit where you 30 minutes a day spend time on that outreach, that marketing, those initial touches that are the marketing that could lead to a sales conversation, then you can get results. If you try to keep chasing the next shiny object, the next tool, the next software, the thing that you think is going to do all that work for you and magically create habits and structure in your business and your life, then odds are it's probably not going to work that way. There's, of course, exceptions. But in my case, I found that if you're willing to just create the discipline, the routine, and the structure to reach out on a consistent basis, then there's sky's the limit as far as how much revenue you can get. And it only takes a handful of years to go from zero to having a multi-million, breaking the $1 million mark and then making it a multi-million-dollar business if you're willing to invest on a consistent basis. So I would encourage you to just dig in, do the work, be consistent. We talk about that a ton on the show for a reason. If you're willing to do that, I'm confident that you're going to see great results. If you need help with your marketing, if you are in a position where you can and should leverage having daily email going out or having branding on Facebook through ads, if you need search engine optimization, all of those things can just add on to the effect of your own personal investment in your sales and marketing efforts. We'd love to help you with that. You can visit us at businessmarketingengine.com or reach out to me, and I will see you on the next show.